these cops, actually was, getting down on these, dudes or whatever, whatnot. But this girl, was actually, trying to speak to the cop or whatever. That was actually, putting this man's leg, well, his ankles around his, around each other or whatever, whatnot, you know what I mean? And, I think this cop got frustrated and he ended up standing up and pushing the girl or whatever, whatnot. Then he went back to going to do what he was gonna do to arrest this whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He had his hands behind his back already, but he wanted to put his ankles on each other or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And the girl up there tried to say try to explain to the couple whatever about what went on or whatever, and the cop just actually shoved her all the way to the bike, all the way to the ground, and got on to her and started running on her or whatever whatnot. And the other cop joined in or whatever. And this cop up there trying to tell us about what she did and all this stuff and all that, you know what I'm saying? Saying he got an injury from what she did some but she didn't do nothing to him. She didn't do nothing to him at all. And the body cam, showed that he was full of shit. And they didn't even, actually, press charges against her because of it. Because, the body cam showed that, cop was on bullshit. And that's on bro. Anyway. So, yeah. Now, this, 13-year-old, prosecutor ended up getting stabbed by, two of the other, prosecutors or whatever. One was, 17 and one was 16. And they, actually, put his head under the water so he could drown or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For real, though, that was crazy as hell, man. I mean, they didn't even, protect the boy up there, prosecute or whatever, whatnot. You know what I mean? For real, though, that's some crazy shit. He was, there temporarily. You know what I'm saying? But now, shit, I mean, it's crazy as hell, gang. I mean, they just killed this boy for absolutely nothing. For real, though, and that's some crazy shit. And they didn't do nothing about it. Or nothing like that. For real, though, and that's on bro. Anyway, now, it's these hospitals, that actually, these segregation hospitals that want to look after, a sick patient that's, black, or whatever, whatnot, you know what I mean? For real, though, I'm hell no, that's some crazy shit. They playing with people's lives like that. For real, though, I'm damn, that's some crazy shit, gang. Up in a hospital, for real, though. That's some crazy shit. I mean, hell no. I mean, shit. I mean, shit. All the, tax dollars and shit be going to the hospital and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if that, insurance is good, they still, deny care for, black people or whatever, whatnot. That's some more bullshit, gang. And that's on bro. Anyway, they, found the, autopsy of the, of Nolan, for real though, and they acted like they couldn't find shit because they took his organs away or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was damaged or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And they up there saying they can't find anything. I'm they just did the autopsy, and they saying they can't find anything because they took his fucking organs. Really? I'm that's some fucked up shit. They even took the bones and shit out his neck. Goddamn. They out there just trying to, defend these motherfuckers. What? Oh my goodness, that's some crazy shit, gang. That's on bro. Anyway, now this, teen, this 18-year-old actually got shot up in his house or whatever because he was living in his house with these white individuals or whatever, you know what I mean? And they up there trying to claim that they was playing Russian roulette. Who the fuck gonna play that shit? That's suicide right there. That's a game of suicide. For real though. Like take a blick, put a like shell up in it or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And clock it, put it right to your head, and then next thing you know, pull the trigger or whatever. That's suicide game. I mean, like, hell, who the hell gonna play that game? Like, really though, who the hell is gonna play that? For real though, that's some more bullshit. For real though, I mean, like, shit, this is not like, an actual game. This is something that could actually, like, take your life or whatever, whatnot. And that's bro. But anyway, that's some, like, it was some power play because, like, yeah, one of them motherfuckers, like, end up tampering with evidence and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then placed the, like, another gun up in the house or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that's some crazy shit, gang. For real though. I mean, like, so the police can't find none of that, like, shells to go to the other gun or whatever, whatnot. And that's on bro. Anyway, so I'm just like actually looking for that shit or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Anyway, now this cop, like, ran up on this teenager and he slammed him right down on the ground. For what? For what? I mean, like, shit, he said that, like, teenager was up there, like, howling at the employee or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Saying, like, goddamn truck was up there, like, blackened, fire, like, area or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some crazy shit, but anyway. I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck this dude was up there trying to do or whatever, whatnot. The dude just falsely accused this boy or whatever. And he just ran up and just slammed him down on the ground and put some handcuffs on him. That's about it. I mean, like I said, it looked just like that. For real though, because, like, yeah, that shit don't make no sense, gang. That don't make no sense because, like, he just wanted to fuck with him just to fuck with him. That's all, gang. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, shit. Cop was out of pocket. Up there trying to, like, tell a lie or some shit. Or whatever, whatnot. No, goddamn well, body cam go show something different. And that's on bro. But anyway. Now. Shit. I mean, like, hell. It's some, like, crazy shit going on out here. And it's still gonna keep on going on out here. Or whatever, whatnot. Know what I'm saying? Real though, I'm like, god damn. They shit, trying to figure some shit out or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And then these motherfuckers just want to keep on hiding this shit or whatever, whatnot, you know what I mean? For real though, some important shit or whatever. So, hell, you gotta go ahead and, like, figure it out on your own or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? For real though, even with the autopsy people, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, shit. They ass don't want to do their fucking jobs when it comes to a brother or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Brother, and that's some bullshit. That's because they want to, like, defend these, like, motherfuckers that he was around. Or whatever, whatnot. You know what I mean? And that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. They out of pocket for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Brother. Anyway, yeah, you gotta protect your kids. And protect everybody else. You know what I mean? For real though, including yourselves. For real though. I mean, like, shit. I mean, like, goddamn. For real though. I mean, like, shit. Like, have your kids be careful about who they hang around with. For real though, because, like, this shit is getting out of hand. It's been getting out of hand for years. You know what I'm saying? For real though. I mean, like, shit. It's just like, they be happy as fuck, and then next thing you know, shit occurs or whatever and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? There's some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Generation after generation after generation after generation. This shit been happening. You know what I'm saying? For real though. And that's some crazy shit. I mean, like, damn. I mean, like, goddamn. Because, like, it's like, they, like, it's like a center trap or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And, like, if people don't understand that shit and they don't figure that shit out, they gonna fall for that shit. For real though. I mean, like, and plenty of these, like, young ones been falling for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy as hell, and that's on bro. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hit the bell notification so you see my next upload and my next post, and to make sure I make it no more tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you're liking. So long, farewell, goodbye.